Fabrizio Romano dropping a bomber that will send some fear, some worry and concern through the ranks of Liverpool fans across the world, and much, much more, as he confirms that Real Madrid are monitoring the situation with Trent Alexander-Arnold and his current contract at Liverpool, with it coming down and negotiations about a new deal underway. There are lots of rumours from all over the continent, including Spain and the UK, that Real Madrid are considering signing or attempting to sign Trent Alexander-Arnold either this summer or for a lower fee, or next summer as a free agent as that contract runs down. Now, of course, a lot of Liverpool fans will say, no, he's Scouse born and bred, Liverpool born and bred. There's absolutely no way he'll look elsewhere. And of course, that theory holds a lot of water, with a lot of top journalists talking about it, a lot of top transfer experts talking about it. It is well worth exploring. It wouldn't be the first time that we have seen a Liverpool, a Merseysider, a Scouser born and bred, who has run down his contract and left Anfield for the glitz and the glamour, the fame and the fortune that comes with becoming a Real Madrid player. Steve McManaman famously did this in the 90s and went on to have a very, very strong career at Real Madrid. Now, Liverpool are one of the beacons of English and beacons of European football. Even if you dislike them, even if you hate them, you cannot play down their greatness within the game. They're an absolute stalwart. They've got heritage for days. And of course, he is from the streets of Liverpool. He's from that area. He understands it in every single which way. But the pull, the allure, the glamour, the glitz, the fame, and of course the challenge of playing for Real Madrid is attractive to many players. So to write this off purely as a rumor from Fabrizio Romano, I think is wrong. TNT Sports have also picked up on this when it comes to their paper roundup, but it very much ties back into the story from Fabrizio Romano. So don't read too much into multiple publications talking about it. Fabrizio Romano has the exclusive on this, and Real Madrid are monitoring the situation. They are talking to him, and I would look at it this way. It all depends upon how motivated Trent is to remain at Liverpool, especially if they walk away at the end of this season with the Carabao Cup, another European trophy, potentially the Premier League as well. He may look at it as, I've won Champions Leagues, I've won every trophy possible, I've won 2 league titles. I fancy the challenge of being part of almost this new group of young Galacticos at Real Madrid. I believe that I can ply my trade there. I believe that I can go and do what very few Englishmen have actually gone and done, and that's be a hit success abroad. Although that you can name this, Gareth Bale did it, McManaman did it as an example. It is few and far between that players leave these shores, go abroad and absolutely deliver. And maybe Trent Alexander-Arnold fancies that himself. So I wouldn't write Real Madrid off, and I wouldn't play down the possibility of this happening. Equally, this is Liverpool. He's a Liverpool boy, and they very much could get this new deal done. I want to get your views. I want to get your opinions on this story. Now, moving to North London, Charles Watts has weighed in on the situation surrounding Viktor Gyokeres, and I believe it's pronounced Gyokeres. The G is silent, I think. The absolutely fantastic striker currently plying his trade at Sporting Lisbon. Goals for days, ability for days, wonderful approach play. He's absolutely on the lips of fans, not just at Arsenal, but at Chelsea and multiple other clubs around Europe. He's having an absolutely barnstorming season, and we know that Arsenal Football Club are looking for a new striker. The story here from Charles Watts says that Sporting Lisbon striker Viktor Gyokeres has been linked with Arsenal amongst other top clubs in Europe in recent times, and our resident Arsenal expert and columnist Charles Watts has provided these exclusive insight into the situation. Blah, 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 goes on to talk about the player. Says Arsenal were likely to be one of the names in the mix for Gyokeres, according to Watts, as he spoke exclusively to Court Offside for his latest daily briefing column, but he's not yet sure if the Gunners will make him the top priority. And this is what I find really interesting. Some reports are stating that he's become the number one priority. They're looking at him now above Ivan Toney. And I think this is smart from Arsenal. Whether it's Ivan Toney, whether it's Gyokeres, whether it's Isak, you almost don't want the media knowing. You almost don't want the public knowing. You almost don't want the clubs knowing that you're dealing with which one is your primary target, because all that's going to do is increase the transfer fee of that player. That's it. I mean, you could end up in a bidding war for one of these players, which is going to do that anyway. But with the Declan Rice situation, he was the number one target. It was very clear and obvious. That's why they were always going to play a premium. But if you can make on one of these deals what a club think, well, you know, mate, you might go for Toney. They might go for Isak. I know we want 85 million, but maybe we should accept 65. Maybe we should accept 70. Maybe we should accept 75. Get this deal done. Get the money in now. All of these things are important for Arsenal, because if you can save £10 on £10 million on this deal, you can save £5 million on that deal, you can save £15 million on this deal, suddenly you're looking at £30 million extra remaining in your club. That helps with profit and sustainability. It helps with FFP, which is now of paramount importance in the game. Or it leaves you with more money to spend elsewhere. This notion, I've said it for years, of it's not my money, I don't care how much we spend, is ridiculous. You end up now with points deductions. You end up now in big trouble for doing that. So anybody advocating that train of thought, for me, is absolutely off their rocker. So I do want to ascertain Arsenal fans' opinions on this. The deal does appear to be on. It does appear to be active. It does appear to be something Arsenal are exploring. What do you think they should do? Now, there's been lots and lots of rumours in the last few days about Gareth Southgate becoming the Manchester United manager. And he is certainly on a list, in my opinion. That is what I've stated all along. Rob Dawson has come out, from one of their outlets, ESPN, who spoke about the links to Gareth Southgate and confirmed what I think everybody in this situation thought and felt. That Southgate, that Graham Potter, that De Zerbi, Thomas Frank, Thomas Tuchel, Lopetegui, Zidane, Amorim, Nagelsmann have all been discussed internally by Manchester United as potential replacements for Erik ten Hag. And this, for me, is why Man United fans have got to remain cool, calm, and collected. Stop showing your bum on social media. Stop being triggered by every news story that comes out, because nobody knows who our new manager is going to be at this particular moment in time. The club probably haven't even decided. And all we're hearing is stories of, well, Ineos really like Southgate. They get on with him. They think he's a nice guy. It doesn't mean he's going to become the manager. There will be a long list of managers that are going to be reviewed, that are going to be, due diligence is going to be done on. And of course, you've got to have hierarchy. I would look at it and say the likes of Zidane and Amorim and the like are probably sitting near the top of the list, where the Gareth Southgates and the Graham Potters are much further down. But there has to be a list, because we don't know who's going to say yes to us. We don't know who we can get. So to just have one person as your target and then you miss out on him and there's no backup plans would be absolutely ridiculous. So Man United fans have got to, in my opinion, stop playing up to rival fans here. Actually read the stories, listen to what's being said, and look at its meaning. Yes, it might say that Dan Ashworth has a great relationship with Southgate and rates him as a manager. But there's no connection between that and Man United. There is no statement, there is no word, there is no quote from anybody connected to Dan Ashworth that says he's going to push for him to be the next Man United manager. So stop being dragged in by it. There's a long list. United is still reviewing it. There's a good 60 to 90 days before they even have to decide on what to do officially with the manager. Relax, Man United fans. It's all going to be okay. In my personal and humble opinion, that is anyway. But as ever, I'd love to ascertain your opinion on this. Of course, there's a long list. Some people are now talking about the idea of keeping Ten Hag. That's not my personal preference, but there we go. And similarly, we saw a story earlier on in the week, which made a lot of people laugh. United looking at Rodrygo from Real Madrid. How can this be? Well, of course, we knew what was going to come out. More names: Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester City. Of course, they're all keen on him. Of course, they've all made inquiries. Of course, they're all looking at the possibility of trying to sign him, because Mbappe is going in and they need to see whether or not Madrid need to raise money. Mbappe is going to cost them anywhere between 200 to 300 million to bring in. Signing on fees, agent fees, the wages, image rights year one. It's going to be an astronomically expensive deal for the club, the most expensive deal in football history. Forget that net spend will say it's a free transfer. This is irrelevant in the real world of football. The new FFP regulations are in Europe. 70% maximum of your turnover can be spent on player expenditure. If year one, and I want to break this down to you. I was looking at these numbers just the other day for Real Madrid. So if we just go by last year, and their income will be relatively similar. It isn't going to have jumped up exponentially. Biggest team in the world, biggest income in the world, 831 million of income. 51% of that is paid on player salaries already. Now, you throw transfer fees into that. They're spending anywhere between 100 to 200 million every year on average. You suddenly throw a deal in that costs you year one 200 to 300 million. You are looking at going well past that 70% mark. Now, Mbappe also brings you in additional income. There's no doubt about it. But of course, clubs are going to inquire about it. I think year one, a player like Rodrygo will stay at Real Madrid. I think it's somebody maybe year 2, year 3. If either funds needs to be raised or he isn't getting enough game time, that could be doable. I don't personally see him leaving this summer, but stranger things have happened. So it isn't something I think for rival fans to laugh at and say there's no way he leaves. You have to look at the finances with the new FFP regulations. Plus, what is the game time for this player going to look like with the arrival of Kylian Mbappe? As ever, though, I want your views. I want your opinions in the comments section below. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you all again soon. Peace.